Hello everyone, welcome to the Canadian Edge. Going to be doing another review today. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, leave a comment. I hope you enjoy the reviews that I've been doing and hope you enjoy this review today. Today we're going to be looking at the Kershaw Halogen, and this is an inexpensive budget EDC that Kershaw makes. It has the Kershaw Speed Assist on it, and it's actually a pretty decent knife. It's got a blade length of 3.25 inches. Open, it's 7.75 inches, and closed, it is 4.5 inches. The steel on this is an 8CR13 MOV. And it's got the drop point blade with a stonewash finish. If you can see that, I got a lot of light shining. There we go. That's a little better. And the weight, 3.5 ounces on this. The handle is a carbon fiber over G10. And this is a duller one. Not quite the polished one, as we'll be reviewing this knife a little later, but you can see the wire. Well, maybe it's not going to show. The wire has a little more polish finish to it, and we'll look at that one a little bit later. And it has, as I said, the carbon fiber over G10 with the stainless steel liners, open spine, and you got the spacers in there. The pocket clip is a right hand only. You can't reverse that. So it's right hand tip up, which is the favored way of carrying pocket knives. And you can see that for the most part, the blade lines up quite well. Maybe you can't see that. So yeah, the blade lines up fairly decently down the middle. It is a liner lock. You got the jimping on the liner lock to give it a little bit of purchase with your thumb. And it is a flipper opening, but it does have the thumb studs as well. And I'm not crazy about the thumb studs on an assisted knife. I don't feel comfortable with them, so I personally wouldn't bother with the thumb studs on a flipper knife. But hey, that's just me. I prefer the flipper, a lot easier to open. But you do have the dual thumb studs, and they do have a blue tint on them, as well as the screws and the pivot screw that holds it together. Have a nice blue coloring to them. As I said, it is assisted opening. As far as assisted opening, I'm not crazy about assisted opening. I don't know why. I can't give you a real reason as to why. I just prefer the manual opening, but this is a softer assist on this knife. I don't know if it's all the Kershaw Halogens or just this knife, but this one has a softer assist, which I prefer if I'm going to have assisted opening on my knife. And it does have little slots. I don't know if you can see them there on the knife. Yeah, there they are. It has it on both sides. And I guess that gives you a little bit of grip. Not really. I think it's more of an aesthetic thing than anything, but there they are, and they don't look bad. They give it a little bit of an aesthetics. So, and with the open spine, it's super easy to clean in between the liners and that when you've carried it in your pocket for a while and it's full of all your pocket lint. The open spine makes it easy to clean up. So overall, like I was saying, I'm not crazy about assisted opening, but this one has the softer assist. So I do like that about this knife. It, for me, it just makes it a little nicer. Even putting it back, it isn't quite as stiff as some of the assisted openings that I've used. And so I like that about this knife. I like the aesthetics of the knife. The knife looks good. You got a bit of a swedge there. You got a choil here for sharpening. The blade, actually, the grind on the sharpening it's fairly close. Not exact. This side's a little less than on this side, but it's pretty close for a $30 knife. You know, I'm not going to complain. It does sharpen, but I do like the swedge that they have here, and then the grind, and the look of it. Although I don't really care for the ergonomics of this knife. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. In the pocket, it sits great in the pocket. Not quite a deep carry. You do have a bit of the knife sticking up, but it's not a lot of the knife. It sits fairly deep. And the pocket clip, it has a bit of spring to it. So it fits in the pocket quite well. It's slim enough that you don't really have a problem with it. You do notice the flipper a little bit, but that's the hazards of flipper opening knives. And it's not in any way a problem, at least not for me. Some people might not like it, but to each his own, I guess. The things I don't like about this, the ergonomics on this knife are not that great. I find that to get a good grip on the knife, I've got the handle coming way back in, and so my fingers aren't gripping it properly back here. For me, it's too narrow. Other people might find it fine. If you hang on to your knife this way, I guess it's not bad, but if you were using it a lot for slicing, I think you'd find your hand gets tired. And then this rise on the pocket clip, it goes right into my finger. So I think that would become a hot spot if you were using this for an extended period of time. And of course, the carbon fiber, I love the look of the carbon fiber. I love the weight of the carbon fiber. But unfortunately, carbon fiber does not provide a lot of grip. So this would be a slippery knife if you were having wet hands. There's not a lot. There's no jimping or that to give you a good solid purchase with this knife. So it could slip quite easily. I do like the flipper tab, keep your finger from going forward. But yeah, I think this knife, you could find that it slips fairly easy out of your hand. So those are just a few of the things. They're not insurmountable things. This knife would still make a great everyday carry knife for you if you're looking for a nice light EDC, and in my opinion, a good looking EDC. This would easily do the trick, and if you like the assisted opening, you've got it in this knife, and overall I think this is quite a good knife. And Kershaw is pretty reliable with their knives. I've owned Kershaw knives for a long time and found them to be reliable knives. So let's check the sharpness on this bad boy. See what we've got. So it seems to have a fairly decent edge on it. I'm not putting much effort into cutting that paper. And of course, the bane of my existence, the good old zap strap. See how it does with this. Oh man, that was easy. Went through that pretty easy. And we'll try this cord. And very little effort involved there. I use more effort on both of those to keep the knife from flying forward than cutting through. And same with this. Gosh, I cut that mostly pulling back on the cord. So again, the 8CR13 MOV, I've found in a lot of the knives that I've gotten with that steel that it's got a good edge on it. How long it'll hold that edge remains to be seen. But because it is a softer steel, it is easy to sharpen and put an edge back on it. And so not a big deal if you have to run this over the stone a few times or through your sharpener. You could easily put an edge back on the knife. So yeah, that's the Kershaw Halogen. It's a nice looking knife. I think this would be a good knife for anybody looking for an everyday carry, especially if you like the carbon fiber, which I like the pattern of the carbon fiber. I just wish there was more grip on it. But yeah, it would make a good knife for somebody. So the Kershaw Halogen, and you can find those easily available in most sporting goods stores. So thank you for watching this review. I'll be doing another review in a few days, taking a look at another knife. But until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.